What up, everybody? It is a new week. It is a new episode of Dodgers Territory. We are your hosts. That is Clint Pasillas, pushing all the buttons, doing all the things. I'm Alanna Rizzo. We're with you for the next half an hour. Great to have you guys with us. Thanks for being here. Rate us 5 stars, like and subscribe, all of the things on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. We're excited. Kyle Glaser is joining us momentarily. We had a conversation with Kyle yesterday as we get ready for the Dodgers Padres series. It's about dang time that we're going to see the Friars. But before Kyle joins us, let's get to the big ticket. Clint and I have some things to discuss.
There we go.
All right, my friend, a bit of a weird little series in the loo. What do you take away from it?
Yeah, it wasn't their best brand of baseball once again for the Dodgers. The bats MIA for the first 2 games. I had said I had learned from sources, and I posted this on Twitter. They actually arrived in St. Louis without their baseball bats, which is tough to play the game. But kidding aside, the important thing is you do salvage at least 1 win in the series. You'd like to take 2 or 3. You'd like to sweep the Cardinals. But what I loved out of it was, when the bats woke up, it was a little bit of everybody doing something. Mookie Betts had himself a nice series. Max Muncy had himself a series. But how about our boy Hyeon-seong Kim having himself a good series, showing why he should be in the lineup day in and day out. And then I would say the most important part of that series, Clayton Kershaw. So what do you want to dive into first?
All right, let's start with Clayton Kershaw. I feel like Kershaw always has honors, right? I feel like he's earned that spot. If you golf, you know what having honors means.
Yes.
Clint, let's talk about Kershaw. I feel that this was the best that number 22 has looked, not just in his outings so far this season, but really in the last couple of years. Obviously, as Clayton has evolved, he has learned how to pitch with his age, with the different mechanics, obviously with all of the ailments that happen when you get to a certain age. But I really felt like Clayton had some really good stuff yesterday. Maybe not necessarily as much swing and miss as he used to have, but he did, I believe, have 5 Ks in the game.
7 Ks.
Excuse me, 7. I shorted him 2 Ks as he makes his way to 3,000. But he looked really good. He looked confident. He looked like he had belief in his stuff.
Yeah, as I put this shot up here on the screen, he was the man that you always wanted back in the day on the bump, and he's the man the Dodgers needed on the bump on Sunday. He had to play the stopper again, something he's done so well over the course of 18 seasons as a Los Angeles Dodger. The Dodgers needed him. They got him. They got vintage Kersh there. The curveball was working. The slide piece was working, but most importantly, the command was working.
You just call it the slide piece?
Yeah. It's a slide. Technically it's a cutter, but he likes to call it a slider. Don't call it a cutter to his face. But for me, it's a little bit of faith rewarded, because our last post-game show last week, Kershaw pitched, did not have his A stuff, did not have his B or C stuff. He grinded for this team. And, you and I were a little worried. I don't know if it's worried is the right word, but we had some concerns. It's like, hey, we know Clayton Kershaw's best years are behind him, but is this season going to be a grind? Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be embarrassing? Is it something that it's not going to tarnish his legacy, but it still really, really hurts our soul? And one of the things I said in that show was, I believe in Clayton Kershaw. I believe that he is upset with himself, more upset with himself than anybody else is about what he's done so far over the course of this, short ramp up in the season, coming off the knee surgery, coming off the toe surgery. So he battling himself. That's what he loves. He wants to prove that he can still get it done. He doesn't want to be here just to be a body, just to be Clayton Kershaw in the rotation. No, he wants to be an effective member of this rotation. And we saw something different. We saw a little more of the battle out of him. We saw a little more of the ace out of Clayton Kershaw, the dude who's done it so well for what will be a Hall of Fame career. So I love to see what we got out of Kershaw, and I love to see, we'll call it, he hates the phrase, the expression, vintage Kershaw, but look at these numbers here. Became the all-time leader in MLB history with in games pitched 7+ strikeouts and no walks, 65 Ks passing 65 games passing Kurt Schilling. That's the type of shit that's impressive. That's the thing that people don't really understand. Like, how is Kershaw so good? Why do people talk about him? It's because he does that.
It's because of the longevity of what he's done over the course of his career. It's one thing to be really good for a short amount of time. It's another thing entirely to do it over the course of almost 20 years. A couple of things that I take away from what you were saying. First of all, there's nothing in the world that Clayton Kershaw could do to tarnish his legacy other than turn into Bill Belichick and date someone that's maybe 4 years old. There's nothing that Clayton can do to tarnish his legacy. I will defend Clayton Kershaw until my dying breath. There's nothing that Clayton can do that would make me embarrassed for Clayton. This is a guy that still competes. This is a guy that cares more than anybody and works harder than everybody out there. He is headed to Cooperstown the second he decides, and it will be when Clayton decides, not when anybody else decides. When he decides he is done, he is on his way to Cooperstown. But it was good to see the curveball being effective. It was good to see what you call a slide piece being effective. It was good to see the swing and miss, and he is ever closer to that 3,000 milestone in terms of Ks. Now, I was thinking about this yesterday, Clint, when I was watching Clayton pitch. This is when you want Clayton to remain healthy, right? Because we were talking about it in our production meeting earlier today. I mean, 4 or 5 years ago, it's a foregone conclusion he's going to get to that mark in his first 4 starts of the season because Clayton Kershaw was going super deep into the game. Well, it's a different version, if you will, of Clayton Kershaw. Now it might take, another 4 or 5 starts to get however many, I don't know, however many is left
17
to get
right
it.
now.
17. Okay.
Yeah.
So that could very well be 3 or 4 more starts. Let's just hope.
Yeah. That would have been 2 starts. Hands down. Sure. Easy. 2 starts.
For sure. But it's a different Clayton now. Yeah. But let's just make sure, or let's hope that Clayton can continue to stay healthy and achieve that mark, because even though it doesn't matter to him right now, it's still pretty dang cool to get there, especially doing it all in one uniform. I think it's awesome. He just passed his buddy Zach Greinke on the all-time strikeouts list, and good for him. You know what is funny, too, is that the Cardinals thought it was a good idea to troll Clayton Kershaw by showing the home run that Matt Carpenter hit off of Kersh like over and over and over in the DS in 2014. Yeah. First of all, grow up. Second of all, that was 11 years ago. And finally, Kersh was like, you know what? That doesn't really surprise me. And he still pitched unbelievably well 11 years later.
I love, actually, the boys on Foul talked to Max Muncy about that earlier this morning or earlier today, whichever time zone you're in. And Max actually pointed out, like, it wasn't a specific, like, targeted troll job. I think it's a video they just play, like, Cardinals highlights before each game. But given what we've seen in the past when it comes to Clayton Kershaw and what we saw the Padres do with the really, really just in poor taste crying Kershaw meme a couple years ago, it's like this type of stuff, I mean, I guess it's what you get when you're a legend, when you're a Hall of Famer. People want to try to make you feel bad or whatever. And yeah, if they have a highlight, I guess play it. That's one. But Kersh beat him. He got the upper hand there. He wins the battle, or he wins the war.
Yeah. He has won the war, no doubt about it, in every battle in between along the way. Before we welcome Kyle Glaser in, excited to talk to him about this upcoming series with the Padres. Let's talk a little bit about Hyeon-seong Kim, because this is a guy that, fans are screaming off the mountaintops, Clint, that he needs to be playing every single day. He truly has made the most of his opportunities after he had to wait to be called up to the big league level. But he's among the offensive leaders of this club right now. 2-run triple, 414 on the season so far. You said, and we haven't seen the starting lineup today yet for the game tonight at Petco Park, but you said he's probably earned El Bencho, obviously tongue in cheek, but you think this guy should be playing every day?
I don't know. I think he needs to be playing more. I think he should be in the lineup every day against right-handed pitching. In his career as a big leaguer, he does have 2 hits and 2 at-bats, including a homer against left-handed pitching. But the thing is, Kike Hernandez, some of these guys, other guys need to get in the lineup. As Dave says, he's got to keep him relevant. So they will get in the lineup. But we're at a point with Kim where, like, what more does he need to prove? He needs to be in the lineup. That's the only way he's going to get better or get worse, so they could find a way to get him better. And I think he's proven enough in my eyes. 26 games, small sample size, but the hit is there. You can't refute a 414 batting average.
Yeah, here's the thing. I am not ready, and I may be one of the only, but I am not quite ready yet to punt on Michael Conforto. I still believe in the guy. I still think that he's going to be effective for this team and have some bigger moments than he's had so far. Not quite ready to punt on him, but I do think that Hyeon-seong Kim has earned at least an opportunity to get in there at least 3 or 4 times a week. He's going to spell Tommy Edman. He's going to spell Conforto probably more than he's going to spell Edman. He's going to spell even Andy Pages and Teoscar, who are going to need time over the course of the season to be able to get a little bit of a blow, a little bit of a breather, maybe just come off the bench. So again, I am the last person that will ever question Dave Roberts again. But I do think that, he has certainly earned some more playing time. And I think we will see that in these upcoming couple of series.
Yeah, absolutely. One more thing before we do welcome Kyle onto the show. We do have to talk about the news that happened on Friday. Of course, we learned Tony Gonsolin heading to the injured list, or now on the injured list with elbow discomfort. That is always fun. We love hearing that. I don't know. This feels like another ominous sign for the Dodgers, because the last guy who had some elbow discomfort was Evan Phillips, who has now since undergone successful Tommy John surgery last Thursday. But what's your taste about this? What's the first thing that popped into mind? Yeah.
It sucks. The first thing I thought of is I'm going to throw tonight against the Padres, and you are the first one called TBD for tomorrow, which is now actually a bullpen game for the Dodgers. And then, honest to goodness, and we talked to Kyle about this, and you'll hear it shortly because we did have to talk to Kyle yesterday because his schedule today was insane. But I would not have guessed, Clint Pasillas, that on June 9th, we would have had, this is the starting rotation for the series, the first time we saw the Padres this year. Dustin May, cool, fine with that, right? TBD, bullpen game on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, it's Justin Wrobleski. No disrespect to Justin Wrobleski, but that is not who I thought we were going to line up to play the San Diego Padres, right? You're thinking more of the Blake Snells, the Roki Sasaki, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and you must have had to use a 0.5 font on this graphic to get every single freaking pitcher that the Los Angeles Dodgers have on the graphic. You guys, look at this team. It is so banged up when it comes to the arms. So
and this is just currently active dudes on the IL.
Stupid. It's just stupid. So when you have some discomfort with Tony Gonsolin, I'm like, here we go. But at least we got Kopech and Kirby Yates back for the bullpen. I mean, it just stinks. It just stinks. But again, they're in first place. But there's some big series coming up. Clint Pasillas, some big series.
Yeah, so Padres coming up. We are going to talk to Kyle right now about that. But first, let's take a moment. Let's hear from our friends at Foul Territory. And then we'll be back and talk about that Padres-Dodgers series.
If you're one of those on-the-go people or you're skipping meals but you don't want to, there's got to be a quicker solution. We've got one for you. It's called Huel. I'm going to take a swig. Cheers to Huel. This is the Black Edition, plant-based as well. Good for me. But what do you like about it?
I like the nutrition of it, and the replacement meal is great for me. Someone always on the go. Man, I can just grab one of these out of my fridge, lunch, breakfast, whatever it takes, whatever meal I'm not going to have time to eat. It fills me up, and it tastes great. You know why? Because it tastes like milkshake, ice cream, whatever you want to call it. Whatever flavor you get is delicious.
35 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, 27 vitamins and minerals, low sugar. You can get yourself 15% off plus a free gift for new customers using the exclusive FT code FOUL, F-O-U-L, at Huel.com/FOUL. Please see our description for terms and conditions. Skip the stress, not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition, bottled.
Kyle Glaser, kind enough to join us on Dodgers Territory. You can also see him, of course, on Friars Territory. Does a great job covering the San Diego Padres, in addition to all 30 teams. Been in the game a long time. Kyle, finally, we get to see the Padres. The Padres get to see the Dodgers, too, for the first time this season. Can't believe it took until June 9th to get it done, but here we are. And right now, it's kind of two mediocre offenses. We know they're better than they're playing right now. What's the one thing you're looking most forward to?
Yeah, I think the number one thing I'm looking most forward to this series, first and foremost, is just the excitement that always comes with Padres Dodgers. There's been no shortage of great games, dramatic finishes, benches clearing incidents. This is the kind of rivalry that has really, really, really been one of the best in baseball in recent years. It's the type of rivalry that the coaches look forward to, the players look forward to, the front offices look forward to, the media looks forward to. So it should be a fantastic series all around. It always is when these two teams meet. I think what I'm going to be watching for most closely is the Dodgers offense has been struggling a little bit recently, but look, they're still top three in the majors in virtually every category. And the Padres pitching staff has been the consistent strength of this team throughout the season. They're top 10 in the majors in pretty much every category as well. So that's going to be a fun matchup of strength on strength, the Padres pitching staff versus the Dodgers offense.
Yeah, when I was kind of doing some research, because obviously if you haven't seen the teams, you haven't seen your opponent all year long, which is very weird, again, for us to be in June and seeing the Padres for the first time. It's definitely a weird looking team right now. Like the slug doesn't seem to be a part of the game on offense. The pitching has been incredible. Nick Pivetta, one of the best signings of the offseason. Of course, AJ Preller finds a way to do some stuff. What would you say the kind of biggest issue is offensively for this team? Because the Dodgers right now we know they're just on a cold streak. Like the bats, nobody wants to work together apparently. But when I'm looking at the Padres, I'm seeing, Luis Arias not being the same. Of course, Fernando Tatis, recent struggles mixed in there. They need a left fielder, as apparently the Dodgers do as well. What's your opinion of the San Diego offense?
Yeah, so really, we knew this coming into the season that this was a very, very top-heavy lineup. When you looked at Fernando Tatis Jr., Luis Arias, Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, and also you throw Jake Cronenworth in there, you knew that they really needed all of these guys to perform to the best of their ability because there's not a lot at the bottom of the order. There's not a lot of depth. And what's happened is Machado has been great pretty much all season. Merrill's been great when he's been healthy pretty much all season. But Fernando Tatis Jr. went into the worst slump of his career last month. May was the worst month of his career. Looked like he was starting to come out of it. Then he fell backward. He had a day off on Saturday against the Brewers. We'll see if that helps him reset. But Xander Bogaerts has not hit at all. The bottom of the order has struggled. Gavin Sheets was a great find. He had a really, really strong start to the year. He started to slump a little bit. So the Padres just don't have the personnel to really overcome two or three of their core guys slumping at the same time. They don't have that kind of depth. And that's what's been happening. Over the last 3 weeks, the Padres are averaging less than 3 runs per game. They're bottom 3 in the majors in runs, batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage. The last 3 weeks have been really, really ugly for this offense as just too many guys have slumped at the same time, and they don't have the kind of reinforcements or the depth or the bench players that they can plug in and still get the same level of production like some other teams do.
Yeah, I would definitely say, before you, Riz, I want to say that helps Dodgers pitching staff a lot right now. I think both of these teams help each other out with how good the pitching has been for San Diego, and then of course how bad the offense has been for San Diego with the Dodger pitching staff. Anyways, I just wanted to throw that in there. Riz, go for it.
No, you're absolutely right, though, and I was kind of feed off of that with the Dodgers pitching staff because I don't know if you know this, Kyle, but every single pitcher is on the IL for the Dodgers. I will be throwing in Game 1. Clint is going in Game 2, and we're just going to pray for the best. Tony Gonsolin, the latest victim, headed to the shelf, but this is a Dodgers team, obviously, that is decimated by injury. Nobody's going to feel bad for the Dodgers, especially the San Diego Padres. But what can you tell us in terms of the return for both Michael King with that pinched nerve and Yu Darvish with the elbow inflammation?
TBD on both. So Yu Darvish obviously went on the IL before the year started with the elbow inflammation. He threw a rehab start in mid-May. The hope was that would be the start of his comeback. Instead, he reported feeling some tightness in his elbow after the rehab start. Has not gone out and thrown a live game since. He played catch in San Diego a few weeks ago, but he still does not have a timeline to return. Michael King as well. They're hoping it's something that will kind of clear up sooner rather than later, but he also doesn't have a timetable to return. And I think that's one of the things that you need to highlight with this Padres pitching staff is I mentioned they're top 10 in everything. Again, ERA, WHIP, opponent's average, strikeouts per 9. And that's been not having Yu Darvish all season, not having Joe Musgrove all season. He's obviously out for the year after having Tommy John surgery. Mm-hmm. Dylan Cease having one of the worst seasons of his career. Michael King now on the IL. They've gotten a lot of pitchers to step up in a big way Stephen Kolek, Ryan Berger, guys like that who coming into the year were AAA depth pieces. And it's been really interesting because you look at the Dodgers, they've obviously had so many pitching injuries as well, 14 guys on the IL. And if you look at it at various points, you'd say it was 3 of their 5 best starters and 5 of their 6 best relievers. But the guys they've called upon to, step up, Landon Knack, Justin Robleski, Gonsolin obviously was, in the starting rotation, but he did not pitch well. These guys are all talented, and you expect more from them. The Padres have gotten more from their kind of depth call-up types than the Dodgers have in terms of pitching this year, and it's been a really interesting development.
Kyle, do you think the Padres look at the Dodgers as, not necessarily a legitimate threat? I think we tend to think as fans that the Dodgers are the big brother and the Padres are the little brother. I don't know that that's really the case anymore, especially the last 2 postseasons. How do you think the Padres as a club view this Dodgers team this year?
There's definitely been a shift in the mindset. I wrote about this a lot covering this rivalry. In the 2010s, the Dodgers won the series against the Padres 118-61. This was a rivalry in name only. It was just an annual shellacking. 2020, they met in the postseason, but really the Dodgers were in control that entire shortened season, and they swept the Padres. Starting in 2021, beginning with that 12-inning game, the crazy game where Joe Musgrove was in left field, Jake Cronenworth was on the mound, David Price was in the batter's box, when the Padres went toe-to-toe with the Dodgers. Since then, this has become a rivalry where the Dodgers no longer are kind of the big brother that the Padres are playing in the shadow of. The Padres feel like they can compete with the Dodgers game in and game out. And while the Dodgers have the edge in terms of wins and losses since the start of the 2021 season, I don't need to tell you guys how many games have been so close and so compelling and so tight and coming down to the last batter, the last inning, are great plays that are ending games. The Padres definitely don't fear the Dodgers. They certainly get up to play the Dodgers, and they're excited to play the Dodgers. But there used to be a sense of, oh yeah, the Dodgers are the big dogs, and we're just going to try and take what we can and hope not to get, our butts kicked like they so often were. Since 2021, it's been, no, we feel like we can play with them, we can compete with them. And we've seen that in the quality of the games. They've been toe-to-toe. It's really been some of the best baseball in the last 5 seasons.
What's funny is I saw again, obviously the series opens in San Diego. The season series opens in San Diego, where once again, Dodger fans are being geo-fenced out. They're being locked out from buying tickets, or at least zip-coded out or whatever. Hey, You know what? As much as Dodgers fans love to talk crap about that, make fun about that, or fun of that, it's worked. It's worked. Having a better product on the field, obviously for the Padres, has brought the fans in there. Because I remember when Padres fans were just getting introduced to the team in 2019, like, oh, this is what baseball is. But now, like, it's a legitimate crowd showing up to these games. It's into it. We saw it last year, the Dodgers talking about, crap, Alanna, you were like, hey, I am a little scared of this Padres team going into San Diego because of that crowd.
I picked the Padres to win last year, and I still haven't heard the end of it. Listen, and I wasn't that far off, okay? Like 5 games in the series, Dave Roberts was worried about it. We had a conversation with Dave Roberts about it because I got in trouble because I picked the Padres. So listen, this is a much better team. This is not your grandfather's Padres anymore, guys.
Now, to my question about it, Kyle, it's like, how much does that crowd now really feed into how well the Padres play on the field?
It's huge. One of the things about this Padres team over the last few years, and a big part of this is Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. being kind of the leaders. This is a Padres team that very much feeds off emotion and rides the emotional wave. And Petco Park has become one of the best home field advantages in baseball in recent years. And look, I don't need to tell you guys, there was a long time that wasn't the case. It was more, hey, it's a nice park downtown, nice day. Let's go get a beer and a hot dog and watch a ball game. Whatever happens, happens. There was no expectation the Padres would win, and the seats were often half filled. Since 2021, since everything reopened post-pandemic, Petco Park has been a madhouse. They sell out, again, day, night, school year, not summer, rain, shine, doesn't matter. And it's not like they're just in the seats on their phones, kind of a corporate atmosphere like you get in Boston sometimes. They are rabid. They are going crazy. Petco Park has become one of the best home field advantages in baseball. And there's no question, the Padres, their character, the team they are, how they're built, they feed off that. And it makes it very, very, very difficult for teams to come in there and beat them.
Yeah, it's not so much a hot dog for me. It's more tin fish right next to the ballpark. Petco's one of my favorite parks in the crowds. No, it did not close. You're kidding me.
I am so sad.
Was I the only one eating the clam strips? What the hell?
Yeah, no,
Man, that
I
bums me
loved their
out.
fish tacos. I was so sad when they closed. Broke my heart.
Oh, that bums me out. It tells you how long it's been since I've been to Petco. It is a great park, though. And I love the fact that the fans are into it. It's great. I love it. I love it for the game. I love it for the rivalry. Let me ask you this, Kyle, because we know that the Dodgers are good. We know that the Padres are good. We know that the Mets are really good, too. Are the Padres Dodgers, is this a playoff preview for you?
Potentially. Look, the Padres offense is going to have to be better than they've been. They have the pitching to remain competitive throughout the entire season, especially if Darvish comes back, when Michael King comes back. The offense, though, we knew this was a concern coming in. They were able to exceed expectations early, but now that we've gotten more into the season, they're coming down to a level that is really concerning. As I mentioned, when you're bottom three in the majors in every category over a 3-week stretch, and you've had a lot of stretches this year, you're averaging 2+ runs a game. You can't quite get to 3 runs per game. That's concerning. So the Padres are going to have to add to really solidify themselves as a postseason caliber team as we get into the dog days of summer. And look, the Dodgers, you know that they're going to be there at the end of the year. But I do want to mention that with 14 pitchers on the IL, this is a team that is now bottom 10 in the majors in ERA. They've gotten the second fewest innings from their starters in the major leagues, and they're surrounded by the Marlins, Rockies, and White Sox. That's not a group you want to be around. That isn't sustainable either. And I think just waiting for the guys to get healthy and thinking everything will be okay when that happens, it's risky because there's always risk they come back, they get hurt again, or things aren't okay. They really need to try and fix this now and get more from the pitchers they have on the mound today so that they can feel better about it moving forward.
Well, we got Dodgers Padres 7 times in the next 11 days. It took 3 months to get here, but my God, they're really cramming it in there. What do you think we learn over the next 11 days about these two teams?
I think we learn if the Padres pitching staff is able to handle one of the best offenses in baseball. As I mentioned, the Dodgers have struggled a little bit recently, but they're still top 2-3 in every category: hits, runs, average on base percentage, slugging percentage. This is the best offense the Padres will have faced. They did face the Yankees for 3 games in New York, but the Dodgers 7 times, 11 games. It's going to be a really good test for them. And really, we're going to find out if this Padres lineup, which is struggling, if they can't hit a Dodgers staff that is very, very injured right now. And look, it's going to be Dustin May, TBA, and Justin Robleski. It's not like they're facing Yamamoto in there. The Padres can't even do anything against a Dodgers pitching staff in this current state offensively. It's going to be just another red flag and what has been a series of mounting red flags about this offense. I think from the Padres perspective, that's going to be the biggest thing to watch, is how this offense fares against this Dodgers pitching staff, given who the Dodgers are starting and the state of their staff as it's currently constructed.
My goodness, Dustin May, TBA, Justin Robleski. That's exactly what I would have, drawn up for our first series against the San Diego Padres beginning on June 9th. Kyle Glaser, always a plethora of information. We appreciate you so much. And guys, don't forget, you can catch Kyle, Heath Bell, and Mike Cameron as hosts of Friar Territory on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Kyle, thanks for taking a couple minutes to preview the series. We appreciate it very much. We'll talk soon.
My pleasure. Anytime, guys.
Thanks, Kyle. Big thank you to Kyle Glaser for joining the show. Always love talking to Kyle. Good stuff there. We got more show coming up in just a second, but first we're going to hear from our friends at Foul Territory.
This one's easy for us to talk about. I'm a huge fan of Hungry Root. They're delivering groceries that we want and groceries that we didn't know we want, but we want.
Oh yeah, they every box that I get from Hungry Root has a new snack in it that I'm like, oh, this looks interesting, and then I try it, and I'm like, oh, I might need some more of those. So they're great at not only getting the groceries you want, but they surprise you with tasty little treats that you didn't know you needed.
Agreed. Turkey jerky. There was like a chocolate pudding thing where I'm like, I'm not a big chocolate pudding fan, then I have it, and I'm like, this is awesome. So they can cater to your needs. You got gluten-free, or you're looking for a certain diet that you want to fulfill, or there are certain items that you love. They learn along with you. You let them know your preferences. They just nail it. Take advantage of the exclusive FT offer, please. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/FT. Use code FT. That's hungryroot.com/FT, code FT, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life.
All right, guys, let me introduce you to two really, really cute pups. I think they're all cute, but these guys are super cute. This is Cookie and Coco. They are probably 1 to 1.5 months old. We believe they are Akita mixes. We have just ordered the DNA kits to be certain in terms of what they are. They were given as a gift to a couple in La Puente. I never recommend giving anybody a dog or a puppy as a gift because you don't know if the recipient actually is ready for the responsibility. So these two pups are in need of long-term fosters, better yet adopters. They do not have to be together. They don't have to stay together. But what we need right now is somebody that's very interested in long-term fostering them until we can find them an adopter. Or better yet, a forever home. Guidry's Guardian Foundation is taking care of all of their puppy shots. We will get them spayed and neutered when they are safe and old enough to do so. We will pay for that as well. Hit us up if you're ready to perhaps foster. Now is a great time to do so. Guidry'sGuardian.org or shoot me or text or whatever on social. DM me. Yeah. Slide into those DMs for the pups.
Take care of those floofs. Look at those poofy floofs.
And you got to give them lots of boops. They're so cute. They're adorable. Puppies are a lot of work though.
Yeah.
And please also make sure you're aware of the breed. Akita mixes are very smart and need stimulation, both mental and physical.
Same.
Clint, our baseball thought for the road. Did you just say same?
I said same. Dodgers, Padres, let's go. About goddamn time. Yeah.
I'm excited. Dustin May needs to make a statement tonight. It'd be nice to get that first one, right? Get that first one so you're en route to potentially winning the series.
Yeah.
I would love to sweep. I'm not going to say sweep. What's up, Richie Flores? Are you back from Alaska?
Not yet.
Super chat here, $4.99. Playing the
Thank
Padres
you,
is a hard watch. Their players and their fans make it way too personal. Oh, stop. So do we. The Dodgers fans make it personal too, and the game becomes unwatchable. Stop it. Stop it. I'm excited. Dustin May needs to shove tonight. I need to see something from him tonight, but I'm looking forward to it.
D May. I mean, again, it's not a very balanced pitching matchup probables wise, because Pivetta, like I said, talked about with Kyle, he's been great going up against D May. You got a bullpen game against Dylan Cease, who is their ace, even if he's having a bad year, and then Robo going against Randy Vasquez, who is a human pitcher apparently. Robo making his third start of the year. What I like about tonight, because I do have some worries, the Dodgers kind of stumble entering these series in San Diego against the Padres. They tend to like to lose game one. I don't know if they like to, but they tend to. Dustin May, career 2.43 ERA at Petco Park over 29 and 2/3 innings. That is the second most innings he's pitched anywhere outside of Dodger Stadium, so that does bode well, but also that is a very different version of Dustin May. That was the dude who threw 99 to 100 and all that. So I don't know. You got a quick prediction for this series?
It's still supposed to be a pitcher's park, so let's go with that. And let's go with Dustin May, pitcher's park. I'm going to say we take 2 of 3. I'm going to say we take games 1 and 2. I don't know about what Justin. I don't know. Who knows? I'm going to say 2 of 3. Here's the thing, though. We can't just be focused on this series. Although you focus on the series at hand, but lest we not forget, my friend, that we have the Giants coming up as well. Yeah. And Giants are just kind of sitting back and watching all of the action because they're playing the Rockies right now. So we're neck and neck in this thing. So let's
Dodgers have a one-game lead. Over both of those teams.
Yeah. So, and we have the Padres and they have the Rockies. All right. So what's coming up on your show? Are you doing some sort of like watch party on All Dodgers with Clint Pasillas?
So yes, as part of the family or whatever the hell we want to call it or whatever, but not on my YouTube channel tonight, but you have to subscribe or at least check out the YouTube channel to figure out how. On our Discord, which you have to be a part of our Discord, you have to be supporting the show either through Patreon or YouTube members. But we're actually going to have a watch party, a watch along. We're going to be watching the game, and don't tell Rob Manfred, but we'll actually be able to see the game all together at the same time. So that will be happening tonight on the All Dodgers Discord. Again, you need to be a supporter of the channel to be a part of that. But we're doing our first one, myself and my buddy, producer Kevin, as we call him. Looking forward to that. And if things go well, maybe one of these days you can join us. We'll have a bottle of wine and we'll get sloppy and we'll enjoy a game. Yeah.
No, I'd be happy to. I would absolutely go out to LA and do that. I love LA. You don't have to convince me. Maybe not go downtown right now, but I do love LA. And by the way, Francisco Diaz, thank you. I was looking for this, the super chat from him. We appreciate you heading take your jersey off, go back to LA, or some of the joys of being a Dodger fan living in San Diego. Going to be a long 3 days for me. Like Cal Naughton Jr. says, these colors don't run. That's right, buddy. Let's go, Dodgers.
Thank you,
Proud of you,
Francisco.
Thank you for representing the boys in blue in Padres territory. And thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it very much. Clint and I are back tomorrow for post-game. So Tuesday night post-game. As soon as the game ends, just join us right here on a brand new episode, post-game episode of Dodgers territory. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Like, subscribe, all the things. Clint and I will see you tomorrow. Go Dodgers.
Bye.